In this video, we'll look into input box in VBA. Now, let us create a simple input box. Input box prompt is name, and the title also will just give name, then enter your name. So let us run this. Run. So the title, we are getting it here at the top, name, and here the prompt is name here, and here is enter your name. If you want to leave this blank, I can just remove this. It will be blank. I can just totally remove this, and this is the title. To differentiate it, I'll say just your name. So if I run this, so this is the title, your name, and here the prompt is name, and here we leave it blank so that you can enter your name and press OK. Now let us position this input box. I'll just give this enter your name to. After this, we'll have the positions 13,000 comma 6,000. So if I run this now, so here now the input box is positioned here. So if I just cancel this and then remove this 13,000 and 6,000, now run it again. So the input box is positioned here. So that's how you can control the position of the input box. Now let us capture the value returned by the input box in a variable. So here I can create a variable dim. Let us say customer name as string, and here we are entering the name, and we'll assign this input box to the first name. First name is equal to input box, and then we should have braces here, then close the brace here, and I can now show the first name in a message box. If I run it now I enter the name as Peter. Okay, so Peter is shown in a message box. If you want to write it in Excel, if I go to this Excel part, if I want to write it here somewhere here, let me go back to the Visual Basic. I can say just range of, suppose I want to write it in D5 dot value is equal to first name. So now if I run it, let us comment this message box. We'll just write it to that cell. Run it. So let me enter Peter. Okay. So let us go to the Excel. You can see in the D5, this is the fifth row. In the D5 cell, it has written Peter. Now let us remind the customer to enter the name if the customer doesn't enter the name. So let us take out this part, and then let us not write it to a cell. We'll have this message box first name, and here we'll give a condition. If first name is equal to space, then we'll give this message box please enter name. Else, if they enter the name, then it will display the name, that is first name. And if so, now let us run this. So if I leave this blank and then press OK, so it will ask me please enter name. So the reminder has been given here if name has not been entered. If the name has been entered, then it will show the name. Now let us write the code to check the validity of order date. So let us delete this. So I'll take the variables dim strdt as string and dim order dt as date. So now strdt is equal to, we'll assign it to input box. Here we'll ask for order date, then the title will be order date. Now we'll check if str ptr of strdt is equal to 0. So if the user clicks cancel button, then this part will be activated. So message box, you have clicked cancel. Else if strdt is equal to VB null string, if it is a null string, then we'll here exits subroutine. The same thing we'll do it here. Message box, please enter valid date, and then we'll exit the subroutine. Else, so if everything is fine, then we will convert this str date to date format and assign it to order date. Order date is equal is a date data type. So order date is equal to c date of strdt, and message box will show the order date, that and if. So now let us run this. So now if I click the cancel button, you have clicked cancel, that message box has been activated and we are exiting the subroutine. And let us run it again, and then if I don't enter anything and click OK, then it will ask for please enter valid date. Let us run it again. Now I'll enter valid date 11/12/2022 and click OK. So it will show us the valid order date and come out of the subroutine. So this is how we can check this validity of the order date. Now we'll write the code so that the input box will check for numbers only, so that it will accept only numbers. So dim n as string. So now initially we'll write just the original input box without checking anything for numbers and see what will happen. Enter number and then we'll show this message box, that number n. So in this case, if I just run this, and if I just enter a here and click on OK, it will show me a. So it shouldn't accept a, it should accept only the numbers. So for that, we have to take the application dot input box and we'll prompt it, so that we'll specifically declare this as a prompt, and then so that we can give what type it is. Type is equal to 1. So this will accept only numbers. Now let us run this. So now here if I enter a and click OK, it says number is not valid. If I enter 1 here and click OK, so it will accept the number. So we'll show it here. This message box n is 1. So application.inputbox is useful in checking whether it's numeric or not. Now let us see an example for type is equal to 0. So here I'll take dim str as string, and here str is equal to application.inputbox prompt is equal to, we'll enter a formula here, enter formula, and type is equal to 0, and we'll show this. We'll write it in Excel. So let us say range of, in the cell A4 we'll write the value range of A4 dot formula local is equal to str. So now let us go to this Excel and add numbers here, 10, 20, 30. So A1 is 10, A2 is 20, A3 is 30, and A4 is where we are writing the total. Range of A4 dot formula local is equal to str. Here we will be entering a formula. Type is equal to 0 will accept a formula. So let us run this. So here let us go to Excel and select this cell. So $A$1 has been entered here, plus select this cell, plus select this cell. So A1 plus A2 plus A3 coming up. We are given this formula and we'll say OK. So let us go to the cell and see. So 10 plus 20, 30 plus 30, 60 has been written here. So in this code we are saying in the range of A4 dot formula local we are giving this str value. Here we have entered the formula, we have summed up all these 3 cells, and whatever the value we got it, we have written it to the cell A4. That's how we can use type is equal to 0. Now we'll change this code so that we can select the cell where we want the total to be written and not A4. So let us go to this Excel and delete the total here from A4. So we'll select some other cell where we want this total to be written. So let us go back to Visual Basic, and here I'll take another variable dim str as string and dim str1 as range. and str will remain same because here we are entering the formula type is equal to 0, and set str1 is equal to application dot input box prompt is equal to, here we will select formula cell, and then type is equal to 8, and we will be not writing to the A4 cell, so str1 dot formula local is equal to str. So now let us run this. So let us go to the Excel here. So we'll select this A1 plus, select this, and then here again we'll sum it plus A3. Now click OK. So now select formula cell. So I'll select this cell H1, click OK. So now let us go to the Excel and see. So 60 is written here, 10 plus 20, 30 plus 30, 60 is written in H1 cell. We have selected the cell where we want the total to be written. So that's how we can use type is equal to 8 with application dot input box. Now we'll write the code to copy the cells from one location to another location. Let us remove this. Dim R1 as range, dim R2 as range, set R1 is equal to application dot input box prompt is equal to cells to copy, comma type is equal to 8. So let us copy this and paste it here, and set R2 is equal to application dot input. Here instead of cells to copy, cells to paste. Type is equal to 8. So R1 dot copy R2. So let us run this. Let us go to the Excel and we'll choose these cells to copy. Click OK. Then we'll choose these cells to paste. Click OK. Now let us go to Excel and see. The 10, 20, 30 has been copied from here to here. So that's how we can use this type is equal to 8 to copy the cells from one location to another location. Now let us see how we use array with application.input box. So let me comment this part of the code. So I'll write the code here. Dim, we'll have an array ARR as variant, dim CTR as long, and dim n as long. So ARR is equal to application dot input box prompt is equal to select cells, and now here type is equal to 64. 64. Now for CTR is equal to L bound of ARR comma 1 to U bound of ARR comma 1. We'll be looping through the next CTR, and here we'll be multiplying that value with 2. So ARR of CTR comma 1 into 2, and we'll write this to this n as long. So, and we'll show that n here, message box n. So we are doubling the values. Here we are selecting the cells, which cells we want to transfer it into an array, because we are assigning an array to this input box. And then for those values we are looping through them and multiplying them with 2. So now let us run this, and let us go to the Excel, and let me select these values. We have to select cells, so selecting these values, click OK. So we are multiplying by 2. We are looping over through that array and multiplying by 2. 10 into 2 is 20. Okay. 20 into 2 is 40. Okay. 30 into 2 is 60. So here we are looping through this L bound of the array, lower bound of this array, and 2 upper bound of the array, that is 10, 20, 30 values, and we are multiplying those values by 2 and showing those values in a message box. So this is how we can use this array with the application Inputbox. Please like, share and subscribe to SQL BI Bytes channel.